Video for tract 16 at the Mule Shoe Project. It's about 10 acres in size with approximately 330 feet of direct frontage on County Road 66 on its north side up here. And then it goes southerly for about a quarter mile, about 1,320 feet. You can see it here, obviously, tract 16. And this is a Google base map. This is a wintertime aerial in this case, which is kind of handy because it makes it easy to tell the hardwood trees from the cedar trees. And in this case, this property is mostly hardwood trees. So the darker green areas are likely to be the cedar trees or pine trees. In this case, probably cedar, although we've seen a little pine in this area. And then the more open areas that you're seeing are going to be still wooded, but they're going to be hardwood trees. So red oak, white oak, hickory trees, a lot of different types of tree cover out here. So really pretty neat as far as a mixture of timber. The property itself, as we mentioned, has direct county road frontage on the north side. Probably one of the biggest bonuses on this property is it has a power line physically on site running directly across the property. So if you've ever built a home or a cabin or had power run to a property, you know there's always some hoops you have to jump through. Sometimes some power companies are easier to work with than others, shall we say. But in this case, you've got the line on site, so you're good to go. Don't have to mess with having it run to your property. It's going right over the north side here if you ever need it. This particular tract is one of the few tracts that actually does have an existing driveway or trail that goes into it. I think there are only 2 or 3 tracts out here that happen to have that. This one comes in toward the northeast side and goes southwesterly. It actually continues over the property and then ends up somewhere to the southwest. But we've just mapped out the portion that's on this property, and we did a little circular area because it looked like there would be enough room for a turnaround right there. If you zoom way in, you can kind of see the old trail. So that's not going to be an access easement for anybody else to cross over your property. It just happens to be an old trail, and you're lucky enough to have the start of it right on your property, so that turns it into a private driveway for you. This site, by the way, that we marked on here, this turnaround, that's actually a couple hundred feet back from the county road, so you potentially could use that for your campsite or maybe even a building site if you wanted to. It's far enough off the county road that it's beyond the setback distance. And let's go ahead and look at a topo map on this one so you can see how the ground lays. Okay, so this particular tract, what the topo map is telling us is it's really quite level on the north side. Basically the entire road frontage from what it's showing here is pretty darn level, stays level as you go back in, and then once you get in about 300 feet it starts to slope down, and it's actually sloping from west downward to east, so getting lower as you go easterly. And we'll zoom out and kind of get a better look at it here. If you look toward the middle of the property, this is indicating kind of a shallow valley that probably starts up here on tract 15 and then goes easterly and actually gets steeper as you get east of the property. But on tract 16, it's just a fairly shallow valley area, so dipping down and rising back up, and then you have kind of what appears to be a large level area here toward the south side, and then at the southernmost side sloping down again. So pretty cool mix of terrain in here with more than enough level area that you could have a large building site or campsite or deer camp or whatnot. Let's go back to the topo map. We won't go too much into detail on the area because you can check out the Mule Shoe main page for that, but I'll just back up a little bit here. Whoop. Okay, so tract 16 over here where the Mickey Mouse hand is. To get to the conservation area, just go west on County Road 66 for about half a mile, cut south on County Road 525 for about a quarter mile, and there you are. So shaded area is the Mule Shoe Conservation Area. It's a total of about 2,800 acres of public land that's generally open for hunting. They've got miles of trails. They've got some cool campsites you can use. Access, of course, to the Little Niangua River, which is a beautiful, very clear river excellent for swimming and fishing, and canoeing and kayaking and all that good stuff. The conservation area actually is in within two large sections and then one or two smaller sections. And the largest section is the one that's the closest to the property here, so that's pretty nice. You can literally have your own completely private deer camp or campsite, or potentially even cabin or home right here on your property, and you've got access into thousands of acres of additional land for hunting and recreation and whatnot. So I mean, we talk to hunters all the time, and this is pretty much exactly what they're looking for, is a nice usable 10-acre tract that's private, has road access, and has power available, and they want it very close to public land so that they can, you know, during hunting season, maybe they have a whole bunch of guys and girls that come and set up camp on the private acreage, and then they've scouted out the public land, and they might go their separate ways during the actual hunt to different areas within, in this case, the conservation land. A lot of hunters do the same thing with national forest, which is very similar in that it's also open for public use for hunting and hiking and whatnot. But yeah, awesome property. I mean, you can't go wrong out here with the tract. There are 18 tracks, and they're all unique, but this particular one looks really good. Extremely level coming off the county road, one of the few tracks that already has an existing driveway, and of course it does have the power line at the north side, which makes it extra special as well. So tract 16, Mule Shoe Project. Be sure to check out the drone video, the ground video. We've got all kinds of maps and info on the listing page if you're not already there, so go and check that out and let us know if you have any questions. We would certainly love to hear from you.